I do have to admit, I probably was a bit too arrogant. And yeah, just have to keep my gameplay or like my head up and keep trying to get some good gameplay in.
Today was the last day of week 2 in the LEC 2026 Versus, and I'm in the presence of AD Carry Hazel of Karmine Corp Blue after, unfortunately, a loss against SK Gaming. It's a 1-5 score at the end of the week. And Hazel, I mean, I have to start by simply asking you, what do you think went wrong in this match against SK today? What could have been done better, and what you're going to be taking away from this match?
I mean, one thing I can say went wrong for sure is I think the level 4 fight on Scuttle Crab, like the first Scuttle on bot. I was pretty confident that we will win, so I called it, and it didn't go that way. So I feel a bit of guilt on that. I felt we were a lot stronger in the game than we actually were. So my calls reflected that, and I think it kind of caused a lot of overplaying for the team. So I feel a bit guilty for the result of the game, but I think everyone feels really bad right now because it really sucks to lose.
Yeah.
So just take what we can from the game and move on to the next one.
Yeah. And I mean, for you, it's been a bit of a back and forth entry to the LEC so far, but we've seen some pretty good things, I think, from all 5 members. I wanted to ask you as well, because obviously you've had such a quick rise to the LEC, right? Everyone has been talking about how you went from KCBS to the LEC. You did have Lua Gaming before that as well. But how do you feel so far facing the LEC AD carries as well? And has the level of play in the LEC been a surprise to you at all, or do you feel like you've adapted well to that?
I mean, of course, there's some things that I really need to catch up on
Mm.
because a lot of it comes with experience, I feel, or just in general time playing the video game at this level. Because I don't want to make it sound like it's something crazy, but going from Div 2 scrims to LEC in like a matter of 3 months, it's a very big jump.
Yeah.
Mechanically, sometimes, or like majority of the time in scrims, I've been able to keep up, but on stage with the, I don't want to say anxiety, but emotions, like the pressure that is on you. Sometimes I feel like I wasn't really able to deliver what I showed to my team in scrims, but
Mm.
I feel like with time it will come back to normal. I do feel
Mm.
I kind of skipped a big part, like by coming to LEC this early, which I really thank the last KCB roster for giving us the chance to do this. But
Mm.
I feel like some ADCs I've been able to keep up with, but some really kind of impress me with how they give you no space to breathe.
Mm.
Example being the MKOI game. I really
Yeah.
underestimated him, but he's quite a good player so far.
Do you feel like the version that you are right now at the end of week 2 is already a lot different from the start of this year, like before you started scrimming and everything as well? Like, do you think this is already kind of reflecting in how you approach the game and you view it as well?
I mean, one thing I can say for sure is that even though today's game doesn't really reflect it, I feel like my communications have gotten a lot better. I've
Mm.
come closer to what my team expects of me at this level,
Yeah.
and a lot of that it comes from Blitzy's very like strict scrim and Farah as well. Like Farah has done so many presentations for us on this topic. I'm really happy to have him, and I feel like that's part of the reason why I've been able to come up to the level so quickly.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of that as well, you said yourself it's thanks to the previous KCB that you can be there as well and have this experience. But do you feel like this new KCB lineup as well will be able to live up to the same results that the last lineup did, especially now with this LEC experience as well? How do you feel about the growth and the potential of this lineup by the end of the year?
If all goes as planned, I don't think it's a far guess to say that we would probably kind of stomp everyone in ERL. It's a
Yeah.
bit of an arrogant answer, I will say, or I will admit, but I see it as quite a high possibility that with this LEC experience and these scrims that we have in LEC, that some teams will recognize that we are a worthy scrim opponent, and that means that scrimming LEC is quite a huge advantage compared to other ERL teams. So to be honest, I'm kind of excited for the future. Even if the LEC split doesn't go that well, I think we will do great things in ERL.
Yeah, that's a topic that a lot of people have been mentioning as well, because it feels like the overall ERL level over the last few years maybe went down a bit as well. And a lot of people have been saying that there's a bigger gap now between LEC, even like the bottom teams, compared to the ERLs as well. Obviously, you've had limited experience in ERLs, but would you say that you agree with this statement as well?
I mean, depends on the players, I would say, because I was playing Division 2 last year. I think I was at least bottom or mid-tier LFL ready, but I haven't had that insane high difficulty of getting used to the LEC level, or at least keeping up with some of the bottom tier LEC AD carries. So I don't think it's like correct to say that there's a massive gap between ERL and LEC. I think it really just depends on the players that you are comparing or the talents that are coming up in ERL. But if you do take like random LFL player and LEC player, I don't think that's much of a gap. I don't really agree with the statement.
All right. I wanted to talk more about your own experience as well, because obviously you're still 18. You're going to be 19 very soon, right? But
Yep.
it's been a very fast rise in terms of mediatization or so around you, because just about 2 years ago, you were still in Lua Gaming. And before that, even, I mean, you weren't close to the top of ERLs and everything. Since then, you joined KC, a team that has a very, very huge fan base, right? A lot of support as well from players. And now you're in the LEC as well, which has led you to like be in front of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people even, and have these interviews, for example, right? Be on the stage and everything. How are you dealing with all that personally, this kind of fandom and like stardom as well in a way, right?
I mean, to be honest, the way I do it isn't really that healthy. Like after a lose, I try not to open Twitter and things like this because it's not really optimal to see like either criticism of you or things like this because
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person that it can affect. And to be honest, like when we win, I just bask in the glory as much as possible as to get my ego to like a good level because I feel like I'm such a confidence player, like confidence-based player. If I'm feeling really high spirits that week, I will play out of my mind. And yeah, to be honest, I love being like on camera. It's something I noticed. I really love media days, all this kind of stuff. So whenever I see like a chance to interact with the community or the fandoms, I'm really happy.
Yeah. Do you feel like there's a thing as having too much ego though?
Obviously, yes. For
All right.
example, one example would be me in the interview I had last week.
Yeah.
I did say some things that I still believe, like for example, the gap between some ERL players and some LEC players is not that big. But I do have to admit, I probably was a bit too arrogant. And yeah, just have to keep my gameplay or like my head up and keep trying to get some good gameplay in.
Perfect. And speaking of good gameplay, next week you're going to be facing G2, Fnatic, and Heretics. Obviously, two of these names are a bit more scary than the last one, right? But what are you expecting for these next matches? And do you think that all these games should be games that you can potentially win?
I don't want to leak anything, but we have done some 2v2s and there are some matchups that are pretty scary, but some that I feel me and Prime could really surprise people on. So all I
Okay.
can say for that is keep eye out and see if we perform because I think we can.
Perfect. Just very quickly as well, you mentioned Prime, and that's something I wanted to question you about as well.
Yeah.
How's it been with him? Because obviously he's a very experienced player, right? He's been in ERLs for many years. So are you enjoying your time with him so far? Has he taught you some stuff as well?
I mean, I really like Prime's profile because it's kind of a mini leak. But back when KCB was playing EU Masters, we were playing scrims against them with like mercenary teams, quote unquote, where you just grab 5 players, put them together, and that's the scrim for today. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I got the chance to play with Prime because of that. And literally from the first game on, this guy surprised me because instantly after the game, he went into review with me and told me like information that I hadn't received in 2 years of competitive play. So I was really, really happy like with him early on. And I got a bit of a say in picking the support that I would play with. So for me, it was really obvious from the beginning who I would choose. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the guy. He's really like I don't know how to say it, but he's a really happy guy. He just brings up the mood around people. Him and Camilo make an insane duo actually. But
Yeah.
if he's in the zone, he's actually GOAT. I think he will be LEC after this year. Or like after a couple splits if somebody wants to buy him out. But I think he can make it really easily.
Awesome. Well, Hazel, thank you so much for your time today. I wish you good luck next week in your upcoming matches. For now, have a good night. Hopefully, you get to talk to you again soon. And yeah, let's hope that KCB can make it to playoffs. We all are obviously behind you as the French fans, right? So yeah, thank you so much.
I don't know what the chances are for playoffs, but probably not that good anymore.
It's fine.
Okay.
As long as there's a chance.
If there's a way, there's a will, you know? Okay.
Exactly.
Enjoy the
Thank you
rest
so
of your
much.
day. I'll see you.
Thank you.